Eugene, some Democrats, including Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, plan to bring guests affected by Trump's cuts to send a message. On the other hand, you have Senator Chris Murphy, who's skipping the speech altogether. And here's his reasoning.
I think that State of the Union speech is going to be a farce. I think it's going to be a MAGA pep rally, not a serious talk to the nation. I think Donald Trump is going to spew a series of lies about his alignment with Russia, about what he's trying to do to allow Elon Musk to essentially monetize the American government to enrich Musk and his billionaire crowd. And I'm just not going to be a part of that.
Eugene, which approach do Democratic voters want to see?
Yeah, I think what Democratic voters want to see is a fight, right? They seem to feel like the party is listless, that they don't have a clear message. And you can see in the different approaches that Schumer and Murphy are doing, and many other Democrats, trying to figure out what that message actually is and how you navigate that, right? You can see it in whether or not Democrats are going to have actual negotiations in the House, especially about what the CR, the continuing resolution, will be to fund the government. How do they engage with that? So all of this is the party trying to figure out how they fight with Donald Trump. They make clear to voters where they stand, but at the same time try to figure out how to look like not just the opposition party, but also an alternative. How do you actually look like a party that has something to offer people, not just a party that's throwing up their hands and walking away from the table? And it's unclear which one will actually work, right? And the thing that I keep hearing from Democrats is they're hoping that the DOJ thing continues to make Americans angry, that veterans who are getting impacted by this, that people hear that and have issues with it, but they also can't wait for those things to happen. They have to push some of these things along. And they also, most importantly, have to break through in a way that it gets down to voters. And these town halls that we're starting to see are a way to do that, but they still have a long road ahead before they actually get a message that's very clear for voters.
And we're getting a little pulse of the people heading into this speech with some mixed messages for President Trump in at least the latest polling. A new CBS poll finding +2 net approval for those Trump staff cuts within the margin of error on 3 key issues. Take a look at this. Immigration. Trump is net +8 on the economy. He's +2 within the margin of error. Inflation -8. Congressman, what's the takeaway? And would you expect tomorrow's address to focus more on the price of eggs and less on DOJ?
I think tomorrow night is going to be Trump in all his glory. He's going to declare a mandate in the most successful 100 days the country has ever seen. The problem is both of those things are lies. Last November, more Americans voted for someone other than Donald Trump than voted for the president. He got less than 50% of the vote. Many of his most aggressive moves are actually unpopular. I think that what Democrats are wrestling with is a president, when he addresses a joint session, kind of commands the entire stage, demands the media cycle. And so do Democrats kind of play foil to that, or do they have an ability to counter? And I think that's where, on many of the things, as Senator Murphy said, Donald Trump will be lying. On many things, he will espouse values that are antithetical, as Ambassador McFaul just said in your last segment, to American values. So my take is Donald Trump is a guest in the People's House. That is not his chamber tomorrow night. That chamber belongs to the Congress. The lower house is the People's House. And perhaps House Democrats should invite him in and treat Donald Trump like Donald Trump treated Zelensky. Let him hear it when he lies and when he confronts American values. Be a part of the discourse tomorrow night. Do not simply enable him, which I know Democrats are not looking to do, but engage in the combat. Because as Eugene was talking about, this is a moment where Democrats are looking for the opportunity to stand up and fight and energize their voters. Tomorrow night might be that chance.
Meantime, behind the scenes, Aaron, many federal workers weren't sure how to respond to that initial DOJ email demanding that they list the prior week's accomplishments. And now round 2 of that email's gone out.
Yeah, that second "what did you do last week" email started going out. It was late Friday afternoon, just as federal workers here on the East Coast were ending their workday. Again, they were asked to list 5 accomplishments from the previous week. This time, that email did include a request to send a similar email every Monday by midnight. Last time there was a lot of confusion, as you noted, about whether workers should respond, whether it was mandatory to respond. Several agencies told their employees to hold off on responding or not to respond at all. This time, though, at least the Secretary of Defense took to social media directing his workers to comply. Watch.
I am now directing each member of the department's civilian workforce, just civilian, to provide those 5 bullets on what they accomplished in their specific jobs last week, to reply to that email and CC their immediate supervisors. It's a simple task, really, as Elon said, as the president recognized in our first cabinet meeting, just a pulse check.
And we know that President Trump has suggested he would like to have people respond to that, that there could be folks who were fired as a result of not responding potentially. And we'll be waiting to see today, Anna, if agencies roll out additional guidance to that email that came out from OPM over the course of the weekend.
All right, Aaron Gilchrist, thanks for the reporting. Over the weekend, we saw the protests at national parks, and fired federal workers have really laid into this administration in comments to the media recently. One ex-staffer now telling NBC, what they've done is they've radicalized me. What they've done is they've taken someone who would have willingly served under their administration to help all of the American people, and what they've done is they've made me think that they want to destroy the republic. They want to destroy democracy. So now I am activated. Eugene, career federal workers usually pride themselves in being apolitical, willing to work under any administration. What do you see as the significance of this growing worker backlash?
Yeah, it shows that some of them, many of them, probably see this as bigger than the roles that they played, right? Many of these folks, some of them have been serving for 20, 30 years under different presidents, under different administrations, and most importantly, under different parties. And I think it's hard kind of to explain to folks that kind of selflessness in the world we live in that is so partisan. But that is something, as you said, that they've prided themselves on for so long. And, you know, Politico is reporting right now that there are allies around Donald Trump that are worried that the kind of blowback to DOGE that we're starting to see, it's unclear how big it is and how big it could get, but that blowback is going to blow back on the president, right? President Trump has held Elon Musk very close. He has talked about DOGE. He has defended DOGE and the cuts in the operation that they're doing. But the chaos it's creating, the speed at which it's happening, is where people are having their issues. And I think, you know, conservatives have for years wanted to shrink the size of the federal government, but when you do it at this speed and what feels like to a lot of folks in kind of a reckless way, where there doesn't seem to be a plan for after, and also accusing everyone that is getting fired of having been party to waste, fraud, and abuse, that is where folks, even Republicans I'm speaking to, have issues with what's happening with DOGE, and that blowback is starting to build, and whether or not that blows back on the president is the biggest part of this.
Yeah, Congressman Jolly, we're seeing more angry town halls in red states. Over the weekend, Speaker Johnson just seemingly dismissed those without evidence, claiming it was all paid outside agitators who were coming in. How should Republicans be handling this?
I think for Republicans right now, you're getting away with lawlessness. And I think that's the underlying issue here, is so much that Donald Trump is doing, as we're seeing in the courts, is actually outside his authority. I think we're Democrats, though, and this is important. Republicans are along for the ride. They want to cut government. They've clearly said they don't care if Donald Trump is stepping outside of his authority or if Elon Musk has been empowered to be a co-president in this situation. I think for Democrats, there's a simple nuance that's really important, though. Though Donald Trump is substantively breaking something he won't be able to fix, many of our federal services, the issue for Democrats is not to grab onto the compassionate stories of people who have lost their jobs. Those are important. Those are important in a lot of communities. Donald Trump should not be doing this. But most Americans would say if we can reduce the workforce of the federal government, let's do it. The issue is a reduction in services. And I think that's where there's some latency for the American people to realize there's trouble coming. The VA just canceled one of their largest VA health records interoperability contracts, 10 years in the making. The contractors who just got laid off are feeling that. The veterans are not feeling that yet. And so I think for Democrats to grab onto an issue, it's about the disruption of services that are coming. Make the argument that the cuts right now are short-sighted, but prepare for the big impact when the American people realize their government no longer works for them.
All right. Thank you both so much for joining us. Eugene, congrats on your new role. Excited to see more of you here in MSNBC.